Shalom, Mishpaka. It's Brian Anthony. Ben Yah with beyondbabbitt reporting for duty. Your host, Brian Anthony. Ben Yah with beyondbabbitt reporting for duty. Shalom, welcome to the show. Hey, thank y'all for all your new subscribers, man. Appreciate that. So, as you know, we're making a transition. We're trying to grow. The Most High, I mean, like I said when I was there on the last video, when I was praying, I got hit with the power. I saw the light. I saw the separation. I saw more light. It's not just for me, guys. It's for some of you guys also. You're going to be separated. You're going to be increased. You're going to be separated in power. You're going to be separated from friends, from family, from your support system. And you're going to be increased. You're going to be joined to those like-minded. It's time. Second wave of this stuff is about to hit. We can't let up. We can't stop. We got to continue to wage war. So I know what that meant to me. I mean, I got to be in a position at the drop of a dime. So I need to sell everything. Everything got to go. Because I don't know how soon or how. I mean, definitely something is happening this year. So with that said, welcome back. We're going to get you again with the Office of the Prophet, guys. And so let's before we get started, let's just go over some scripture right quick. First, let's go to the book of Deuteronomy, Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. I mean, we've been just looking at how the prophets were strange people. And we're getting ready to look at a prophet who's also a war general, or commander or whatever, and a king. So first, let's go to the book of Deuteronomy. 18 looks like. Deuteronomy 18. And I'm going to start here at verse 15 and go through the end of the chapter. Why 15? Let me start at verse 13. I like how that starts. So we're going to go 13 through 22. Thou shalt be perfect with the Lord thy God. This is in the Old Testament. He's telling us thou shalt be perfect. You know, same as Matthew 5:48. Thou shalt be perfect with the Lord thy God, with Yahuwah thy Elohim. For these nations which thou shalt possess, hearkened unto observers of times, and unto diviners. But as for thee, the Lord thy God, Yahuwah thy Elohim, hath not suffered thee so to do. So, the way we observe the times is what he told us. The feast days, you know, we watch the moons. The month is for the moon. The feast days and like things like that are for the moon. The Sabbath is for the days, the seventh day. So, we don't decide, it'll be a good time to do this because Jupiter is in Venus and all this. Nah, it ain't how we do it. He told us when to do what we got to do. And just like we have another high feast day coming up, Shabu'ut, Savo'ut, Sabu'ut, Sabu'ut, Sabu'at, Pentecost, 50th day. It's coming up on the 31st, guys, which is this coming Sunday. So the meal, just half kosher meat. I hadn't read where it specifies it has to be roasted by fire or any year. Of course, you don't want it to be blemished. So I read about the goat and the lamb, you know, the usual things. So yes, it's going to be delicious. And we hope the fire falls. We hope we get the other things we're asking for. And we can start to initialize and mobilize and take control. because the Most High is going to rule under his terms. So let's read that again. 14. For these nations which thou shalt possess hearkened unto observers of times and unto diviners. But as for thee, the Lord thy God hath not suffered thee so to do. The Lord thy God will raise up unto thee a prophet. The Lord thy God will raise up unto thee a prophet from the midst of thee, of thy brethren, like unto me. This is Moses speaking. Unto him ye shall hearken. This is Moses speaking. Now, some say that was a Yahshua HaMashiach. May not have been. There may be a Moses coming in these last days. There may be a Moses, another Moses, just like Elijah's coming. There may have been what the discussion on the Mount of Transfiguration with the Messiah was about. Verse 16. According to all that thou desirest of the Lord thy God in Horeb, and the day of the assembly, saying, let me not hear again the voice of the Lord my God, neither let me see this great fire anymore. See, that was blasphemy, because we're going to see this great fire. That's what's going to be protecting us. He's going to establish our borders. And that's what they said. That's what the children said back then. Let's read that again, verse 16. According to all that thou desirest of the Lord thy God in Horeb, and the day of the assembly, saying, let me not hear again the voice of the Lord my God. See why when you want to hear his voice? Neither let me see this great fire anymore, that I die not. Yeah, we're going to see this fire. We want to see it. And the Lord said unto me, they have well spoken that which they have spoken. I will raise them up a prophet from among their brethren, like unto thee, and will put my words in his mouth, and he shall speak unto them, and I shall command him. We're looking for a great prophet to do the things that Moses did. And it shall come to pass that whosoever will not hearken unto my words, which he shall speak in my name, I will require it of him. But the prophet which shall presume to speak a word in my name. Okay, check this out. But the prophet which shall presume to speak a word in my name, which I have not commanded him to speak, or that shall speak in the name of other gods, even that prophet shall die. So when he tell you to say something, or when you say something of your own that he didn't tell you to say, or you speak for other gods in the name of other gods, and say that prophet shall die. Verse 21, and if thou say in thine heart, how shall we know the word which the Lord hath not spoken? Verse 22, when a prophet speaketh in when the prophet speaketh in the name of Yahuwah, if the thing follow not, nor come to pass, that is the thing which Yahuwah hath not spoken. But if the prophet hath spoken it presumptuously, thou shalt not be afraid of him. Okay, that's how you know. If the prophet say it and it don't come to pass, that ain't the one that the Most High sent. If the prophet said it and it happens, that's the one to be afraid of. Wanted to go over those a few things right there in Deuteronomy. One more, and then we'll go ahead and get started with this one, because we're going to be dealing with David, King David, David the shepherd, David the prophet, David, a man after Yah's own heart. But before we do that, let's turn to the book of Acts. The book of Acts. Some say Acts of the Apostles, some say Acts of the Ruach HaKodesh, or Ruach HaKadosh, Kaddish. It's holy. Okay, so Acts 2, I'm going to start at verse 16. Acts, wait a minute. No, I'm not going to start right there. I looked at something wrong. I'm going to start at Acts 2, verse 22. And I'm just going to read down. Acts 2, verse 22. Ye men of Israel, hear these words. Yahushua of Nazareth, a man approved of Yahuwah, among you by the miracles and wonders and signs which God did by him in the midst of you, as ye yourselves also know. Him being delivered. I just got a good feeling, guys. I just had a feeling that the land is coming. We're going to need a lot of people, guys. We're going to need people skilled in a lot of different areas, but disciplined people. You can't go against Yahuwah. You can't kick against the pricks. You can't go against the word. You can't go against the work. You can't go against what Yahuwah is bringing out. Okay? Excuse me. Salaki. Acts 2:22. Let's start again. Ye men of Israel, hear these words. Yahushua of Nazareth, a man approved of Yahuwah, among you by miracles and wonders and signs, which God did by him in the midst of you, as ye yourselves also know, him being delivered by the determinate counsel and foreknowledge of God, ye have taken, and by wicked hands have crucified and slain, whom God hath raised up, having loosed the pains of death, because it was not possible that he should be held of it. For David speaking concerning him. For David speaketh concerning him. I foresaw the Lord always before my face, for he is on my right hand, that I should not be moved. Therefore did my heart rejoice, and my tongue was glad. Moreover also my flesh shall rest in hope, because thou wilt not leave my soul in hell, neither wilt thou suffer thine Holy One to see corruption, or decay. That word is also decay. Neither wilt thou suffer thy Holy One to see decay. Thou hast made known to me the ways of life. Thou shalt make me full of joy with thy countenance. Men and brethren, let me freely speak unto you of the patriarch David, that he is both dead and buried, and his sepulchre is with us until this day. Okay, so it's saying David is dead and buried, his grave still here, his bones still in it. Therefore, being a prophet, Therefore, being a prophet, and knowing that God had sworn with an oath to him, that of the fruit of his loins, according to the flesh, he would raise up Christ to sit on his throne. He, seeing this before, spake of the resurrection of Christ, that his soul was not left in hell, neither his flesh did see corruption or decay. And David said that in the Psalms. Psalm 16. David being a prophet. That's why he was a king, he was a warrior, he was a prophet, he was a shepherd boy. Prophets can have any office. So now let's get into David. Let's go look at the book, go back to the Old Testament. And we're going to see how the Most High uses the prophets, sometimes breaks the rules with the prophets. It's his prerogative. 1 Samuel chapter 21. 1 Samuel chapter 21. And we're going to go through the whole chapter. Okay. Then came David to Nob, to Ahimelech. Ahimelech, See, it's usually Abimelech. This one is Ahimelech. But there's a lot of Abimelechs and Ahimelechs in here. This is even another one, because this is Ahimelech the priest. So verse 1 again, 1 Samuel 21:1. Then came David to Nob, to Ahimelech the priest, and Ahimelech was afraid at the meeting of David. Okay, so David was on the run at this time, guys. So what happened, the Most High rejected Shaul from being king. He rejected Shaul from being king. He had the prophet Samuel to anoint Saul as being king. Then he came back and took the anointing away because he was disobedient. Went and anointed David. Told him, I'm anointing your neighbor who is better than you. Anointed David, son of Jesse, youngest son. And so David was a warrior, played the music, and we already went over the song that he sang, that the people sang, that David has killed his 10,000 and Saul has killed his 1,000. That made Saul mad. So it's finally come to a boiling point to where Saul is trying to kill David. Shaul is just trying to kill David. And it's not going to happen. The Most High has anointed David to be king. It's going to cause Saul and his whole family to get wiped out. All except Mephibosheth. And so David is on the run. The prophet on the run. A man on the run by himself right now. So that's where we are. So back to 1 Samuel 21:1, and we're going to read through. Then came David to Nob, to Ahimelech the priest, and Ahimelech was afraid at the meeting of David, and said unto him, Why art thou alone, and no man with thee? And David said unto Ahimelech the priest, The king hath commanded me a business, and hath said unto me, Let no man know anything of the business whereabout I send thee, and what I have commanded thee. And I have appointed my servants to such and such a place. Now therefore, what is under thine hand? Give me 5 loaves of bread in mine hand, or what there is present. Okay, so he's going to tell David that we don't have anything but the showbread. Okay, the showbread is only lawful, according to the law of Moses that the Most High gave. It's only lawful for the priest, Levites, to eat the showbread. And I believe it's the high priest, but it definitely is priest. David is not a Levite, nor is he a priest, nor does he work in the temple. It's not lawful, it's not legal for him to eat that. But we're going to see what happens. We know what Messiah says about it in the New Testament. Okay. Verse 3. Now therefore, what is under thine hand? Give me 5 loaves of bread in mine hand, or what there is present. And the priest answered David and said, There is no common bread under mine hand, but there is hallowed bread. If the young men have kept themselves at least from women. And David answered the priest and said unto him, Of a truth, women have been kept from us about these 3 days since I came out. And the vessels of the young men are holy, and the bread is in the manner of common, yea, though it is sanctified this day in the vessel. Wow. So yeah, they couldn't have been, you know what I'm saying? That's why when you fast, you separate yourself even from your wives. You don't, no hanky-panky. See, that's why the scriptures say when the angels came down, they defiled themselves with women. And then when they talk about the 144,000 in the end, they say they have not been defiled of women. But it's necessary that man reproduce, be fruitful and multiply. It's just the terminology is strange. These things are strange, but it is what it is. Can't hold back. Verse 6. So the priest gave him hallowed bread, for there was no bread there, but the showbread that was taken from before the Lord, to put hot bread the day when it was taken away. Now a certain man of the servants of Saul was there that day, detained before the Lord, and his name was Doeg, an Edomite, the chiefest of the herdmen that belonged to Saul. And David said unto Ahimelech, And is there not here under thine hand spear, a sword? David need a weapon, guys. He know it's wartime. And he just took off. He had to leave at an instant's notice. And now he over here at the priest. I need a weapon. For I have neither brought my sword nor my weapons with me, because the king's business required haste. You're not telling him the king tried to kill me. You're feeding this man a story because you don't need to know. That's what I'm saying. That's what you call is national security. Verse 9. And the priest said, the sword of Goliath. Remember, David slew Goliath. They kept the sword. Big old sword. David grown now. He slew them when he was just a little youth. He done matured a little bit. He can handle it now. Remember, he used that to cut Goliath's head off. And the priest said, the sword of Goliath, the Philistine, whom thou slewest, in the valley of Elah, behold, it is here, wrapped in cloth behind the ephod. If thou wilt take that, take it, for there is no other save that here. And David said, there is none like that, give it me. And David arose and fled that day for fear of Shaul, and went to Achish, the king of Gath. And the servants of Achish said unto him, is not this David, the king of the land? Is not this David, the king of the land? Saul was still alive. How David going to be the king? Did they not sing one to another of him in dances, saying, Saul hath slain his thousands, and David his 10,000s? And David laid up these words in his heart, and was sore afraid of Achish, king of Gath. And he changed his behavior before them, and feigned himself mad in their hands, and scrabbled on the doors of the gate, and let his spittle fall down upon his beard. He was acting crazy, slobbering and all this old stuff. Then said Achish unto the servants, Lo, see the man is mad, wherefore then have ye brought him to me? Have I need of madmen, that ye have brought this fellow to play the madman in my presence? Shall this fellow come into my house? Well, there you have it, guys. Just mainly wanted to point out that the things that the prophet was allowed to do, because he was a prophet, and he wasn't held accountable to him, and Yahshua confirmed that in the Old Testament. In the New Testament. And I may pull that out as well. Anyway, shalom, shalom. Thank you for another in our series of the office of the prophet. And we will continue. We do have another one from David to follow up with. And this is your host, Brian Anthony. Benya with Beyond Babbitt, over and out. Your host, Brian Anthony. Benya with Beyond Babbitt, over and out. Till the next time. Shalom, peace and blessings.